Meet Claire. She's a Canadian national hopeful, an elite rower, and spends countless hours refining her technique and her fitness. And meet me, Shane. I'm a beginner rower who's trying to find my way in the sport, but honestly, I don't know what I don't know, and that's a lot of things. So how do I change that so that I do know more things about rowing? And like a lot of beginners, the question that I keep asking myself is, am I even doing this right? If that sounds familiar, you're in the right place. I've discovered 3 simple methods that have completely changed the way that I coach myself and others. These aren't the typical just keep rowing or go post a video to the rowing subreddit. These are 3 systematic approaches that bridge the gap between elite consistency and beginner uncertainty. By the end of this video, you'll have the tools to answer that question, am I doing this right, confidently? Let's dive in. Here's what changed everything for me. Now, when I started coaching online back in 2015, none of this even existed. And so a lot of what I developed, I just kind of had to create from nothing and had to figure out what were the easiest ways to be able to coach people without physically being in front of them, because up until that point, that was really the only way that we could do things.
What do you mean?
And so let's take a look at those 3 methods. All right, now the first of these is using a mirror for feedback. This may seem simple, but a lot of people don't think about this approach. Odds are you have some kind of mirror at your disposal. Maybe it's a full body mirror. Maybe it's just a simple wall hanging mirror. Any mirror placed on the ground at your side in some way, or maybe in front of you, can be a valuable feedback tool. Why? Because it allows you to see yourself in real time. It allows you to make adjustments on your technique. It allows you to see things that you wouldn't see just trying to look at your body while you're doing it, which is inherently challenging. So it's a good way at giving you a reflection of what you're doing, and that allows you to analyze your technique. And I always say that with my athletes, the fastest way to start improving is when you can at least recognize what you're doing wrong, or when you can at least recognize that something is being done wrong, and then that it needs fixing. The mirror allows you to see what you're doing so that you can fix it. And this was the first big breakthrough because it meant that athletes could catch errors in real time rather than having to wait until a later point at which somebody else could tell them if they were doing things wrong. So for you, using the mirror, and as well, this is a tried and true method in the world of rowing. Look at most erg rooms. There are mirrors so that you can see what you are doing. Anybody can review what that person is doing from anywhere in the gym, whether it's a coach standing behind, a coxswain standing behind, or just the athlete looking at themselves. The mirror gives instantaneous feedback. The second method is using video of yourself. It doesn't have to be shared with the world. In fact, sharing it with the world early on may be one of the hardest things to do. I mentioned putting a video in the rowing subreddit. Well, the trouble with that is you don't know who you're getting coached by. You don't know if what you're being told is right or wrong. Now, there are different ways to skin a cat, just like there are different techniques within rowing. But the thing with recording yourself is you get to review what you're doing. And so it allows you to be in the driver's seat of the kind of feedback that you get. And it allows you a couple things. You can share the video like we have within the Dark Horse Rowing app. You get unlimited video coaching as much as you want for the same price as the app. You can send us your video and there's a coach that will give you private feedback directly about that video. Or you can take that video, you can post it to the rowing subreddit, or you can keep that video to yourself and simply review what you're doing so that now you have a history. You have a history of what your technique has looked like over time. If you start with a video and in 6 months' time, after you've been working on it, you take a new video, now you have those as comparison. Or let's say you take a video once a month to review your technique. You're going to start to develop a coaching eye for how to review your mechanics. And the best thing that you can do for yourself on the machine is not to row more. It's to row more with intent. And rowing with intent is what helps you get better because you have a reason to be rowing. I'm trying to improve X, Y, or Z. When you focus on something that you want to improve, your mechanics will get better, faster, and video of yourself is a wonderful way of doing that. One note about this is that the angle of where you put the camera matters. Filming directly behind or 90 degrees to the side, in my opinion, creates too much of a two-dimensional effect. It's kind of tough to see some of the nuanced elements of the stroke, and it's why often if you watch, for example, my YouTube shorts or my Instagram reels, I'm usually filming from 45 degrees front or rear. And what that does is it gives you more depth to the stroke. It allows you to see much more of the body, as well as approach angles, what the handle heights are doing, when things are changing, when the knees rise, where the hands go. And so I prefer to use 45 degrees off of that 90-degree window, and typically think that gives you better video quality. And the third is using visual coaching references. What do I mean by that? Well, depending on what you wear when you're sitting on the machine, it can have an impact on what you can even see to begin with. If I'm wearing baggy clothing, it's very tough to understand what the body is doing because it hides the majority of my joints. It hides where the movement occurs in the stroke. And often with my own athletes, whether it's in the gym or online, I always encourage you to wear appropriate rowing apparel. That tends to be more slim, but that also accomplishes two things. Number one, it makes it easier for yourself as well as a coach to be able to watch what your body is doing.
You want to see me jump really high?
Rowing requires that you know where you are in space and time, or that you see where you are in space and time, so that you can coach appropriately.
You just nodded everything.
The second is just a safety factor. If you're wearing a big baggy shirt or big baggy shorts, they can get stuck in the rollers of the seat. And so we want to avoid clothing getting stuck in the machine because it's not good for the machine and it's not good for you. And so wearing the appropriate clothing with visual references is a great way of helping you to improve your mechanics. They give that visual reference, which is going to help you improve. I am so excited to be able to talk about this finally. I here at Dark Horse are partnering with 776 BC to come out with our own line of apparel through 776. And I am so stoked. I have known 776 for quite some time. My very first uni, in fact, had motion tech on it. It was a training uni for my alma mater, University of San Diego. And the first time I put it on, I was hooked. It was so much better than any uni that I'd used in the past. And so when I finally got the chance to talk to 776 BC and pitch this idea and they said yes, I was over the moon. And so this is a huge first for me. I've never done a collaboration like this. It's official. You can go pre-order all of this kit. It's going to be open for 2 weeks for pre-order only. We're not going to have stock afterwards. So A, that part's important. But B, this solves a real world problem that I've experienced kind of nonstop coaching online. It can be difficult if the right clothing isn't being worn, but if you can add in a piece of kit like this, that's going to unlock the door to you being able to coach yourself and also to have others coach you better if that's what you want. This was intentional about creating kit that's going to be helpful for the Dark Horse community to grow and improve on their mechanics, frankly, getting you guys into the appropriate training gear that all rowers use. Every single one of the pieces in this layout that we've created serves a stage of your journey into rowing. Our audience, I like to call you guys the rowing curious. You're curious about rowing. Maybe you don't identify as being a rower yet, but you have a rowing machine or you want to buy a rowing machine. So I intentionally designed this kit so that every stage of the journey would be covered for you. It's why on the men's side, there are shorts and a tee, as well as trowel, and then finally a uni. And on the women's side, there are tights or leggings, then there's trowel, a tank, and then a uni. The goal is that if you're not necessarily comfortable at uni phase, you can walk back and begin at the tights and tank, or the shorts and tee. And then maybe you decide to dabble in the trowel. And then eventually you go, okay, cool, uni, I could get into that now that I've gotten comfortable with the process. I have plenty of 776 Motion Tech unis because it allows me to see what I'm doing when I'm watching video of myself. I often put a camera on the rigger in my boat and it allows me to see what I'm doing better. Think of these as training wheels for developing your analytical eye or your coaching eye. Developing that eye is going to be helpful for you in the long run because you begin to coach yourself. And the instant you start coaching yourself, the faster you're going to start improving. These are the things I use to help somebody grow in the beginning of their journey, because I can give you all the tips in the world. You could watch all the videos on this channel, but if you don't have any kind of feedback mechanism or feedback loop, it's going to be very tough to continue to improve because you're always going to be asking that question, am I doing it right? So eventually you may not need the visual guides, but listen, I started rowing in 2005. It's 2025. That means I've been rowing for 20 years. and I'm still wearing it because even as somebody who's been in this sport forever, I'm still competing. I still need that feedback loop. It gives me better understanding of what I'm doing. Now, here's the thing. This is a limited time run. It's only open for 2 weeks. So if you're interested, click that link in the description below, and that'll take you to the site where you can pre-order any or all of the pieces that you want. So whether you're just starting like the me that's in this video, or whether you are getting close to the Claire level of rowing, consider picking up one of these pieces. They're going to be available for a very short window of time. And I am just thrilled to be able to have this partnership coming to the light of day. And hey, as an aside, if you don't end up picking up any kit, but you happen to be in the Boston area for the Head of the Charles this year, which is October 18th and 19th, and you are around, I am going to be in the 776 tent for meet and greet, to hang out, to chat with you guys, and just to say hi. So I would love to see all of you, or any of you that happen to be there. Come say hi. I'm going to be in the 776 tent. Stay tuned for more details on the actual day and time that I will be in their tent, but I will be there racing. I will be walking around, and last year I saw a ton of you. And frankly, I love it when you guys come and say hi. In fact, while I was filming this video, somebody stopped by and said hi while we were shooting photos for this, and it's the highlight of my day. I love seeing you guys. So don't ever feel like you can't come up and say hi to me when you see me. It's what makes all of this worth it. So thank you again. I so look forward to seeing all of you in your Dark Horse and 776 unis, and hopefully I will see you at the Head of the Charles.